What is good? Osiris here, back again. Thanks for joining. This is AOC is the gift that keeps on giving. She's the hypocritical gift that will always bring you something to laugh at. Heads up, conversations like this can be intense. Don't forget the human behind the screen. No, no, I'm not gonna do this with you. The only way this conversation is intense is if you are clown enough to continue to support AOC. I can't believe at one point I supported her. So if you are a fake populist who represents a district in the middle of a hellhole city that's in a dystopian state, that's asking 5-year-olds to show their papers to eat, that you've got people running around who are scared to death. They believe in critical theory. They're non-playable characters. And what are they scared to death at? They're scared to death of something that has symptoms that mimics the common cold. If you're a part of the elitist class that have people so afraid of symptoms that mimic the common cold that they're in line for a test, or they may be asymptomatic and they're in line for a test in the middle of New York City, where you have to mask up, you have vaccine passports, you're in the middle of a sci-fi movie. Where would you escape to? You would go where every other citizen in this country is under the rule of these insane totalitarians like San Francisco and Los Angeles and New York and New Orleans and DC and Boston. Where would you go? You would go to Florida for freedom. I love this. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was spotted dining in Miami Beach, Florida on Thursday, according to a tip received by National Review. Could you imagine being in Florida and you just rolling down the street and you're looking at me like, is that? She's so recognizable. She's not wearing a mask, right? She's maskless. You're like, is that AOC sipping a cocktail? Let me call the National Review real quick. On the same day that her native New York City reported a record number of pandemic cases. Photo obtained by National Review show Ocasio-Cortez seated outside Doroku Sushi and Isakaya in Miami Beach Thursday afternoon, raising a cocktail in one hand and checking her phone in the other. Must be nice. Back in her city that she represents, her district, 5-year-olds cannot eat without papers. And she's out there maskless, chilling in Miami Beach, while New York reports record pandemic cases. I fully admit pointing this out is not productive. Pointing out her hypocrisy is not productive. There's nothing good to come from this. But how can you not? How can you ignore this? America is such a racist country, according to AOC and her comrades and Cori Bush and others. It's such a racist country that AOC and Kamala Harris are both married to white men. Man, isn't me and I used to support AOC, and I can't believe that. And looking at it now, I mean, you would have to be a clown to support AOC at this point. And I used to, but I look at it and I don't support her anymore. But me and her have a lot in common. She's a capitalist. Now, we don't grift off the same thing. She grifts off of this other stuff, but she's a capitalist. She gets her paper. I'm all for that. She loves Florida, obviously. Look at how much fun she's having. But the fact that someone who is so race obsessed and speaks so often of white privilege as much as she does is dating a ginger who's wearing Birkenstocks, basically. She's dating a pasty white dude with Birkenstocks. Now, my wife is white, but I don't subscribe to this white privilege thing. So does AOC make him acknowledge his white privilege every morning? How does that relationship work? You do realize if you believe in AOC, if you believe in this religion of critical theory, she is laughing at you all the way to the bank and to power. She is the modern day Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, when she first started, she played off of the same type of progressive trying to be a populist left when she never had any inkling of that in her bones at all. Now, maybe AOC did it first, but she's a Nancy Pelosi protege. She's laughing at you. That's why she doesn't care about this hypocrisy. She's out in the open in Florida. She knows somebody's going to see her. She doesn't care. Who's reporting on this? The National Review. There's no other outlet that's really going to report on this. When you spend all your time attacking Governor Ron DeSantis, you don't get to chill sipping on martinis, mask off, figuratively and literally, without getting clowned for it. I'm sorry, we have to. Some people who support AOC were replying and saying, hey, there's nothing good faith about comparing what AOC is doing to, for example, Ted Cruz. Texas had the energy crisis. Ted Cruz fled to Mexico. I criticized Ted Cruz for that. I still do. But all the other things he does, I think, overshadow it. But I still criticize him for that. It was a mistake. He apologized for it and acknowledged it was a mistake. But for those who say you can't compare this, I love that. Because you see, this is what I'm going to end with. You see what they're doing? I love it. So if you say you can't compare the energy disaster that Texas went through to the pandemic that New York is going through, then it just took AOC going to Florida for you establishment supporting non-playable characters to agree there is no emergency. Bet. So let's do this. Take away the governor, take away the mayor, take away their emergency powers immediately, because you're telling me it's not an emergency, right? I can't compare it to Texas, which was clearly an emergency with the energy and no heat. So you're saying New York's not under any emergency. Take away the mayoral governor edict, because that's how all this is happening. There should be no V passports because it's not an emergency anymore, right, guys? And let's go back to normal. I love these socialists, these fake populists. They give you so much to laugh at. She has to wear that Tax the Rich dress more often. That's the only thing that this picture is missing. Let me know what you think. Take care. They have no shame. No shame. Just, oh.
Oh my God, tax the rich.
Boy, these socialists.
Oh my God, tax the rich.
Man, these socialists know how to get down with capitalism, I swear to God.
Working class women of color at the Met.
These socialists, boy, I want to be a socialist too now. I want to be a socialist with the Cybertruck, man. That's going to be my version of socialism. Tax the rich. But I'm going to buy the highest model Cybertruck. I'm going to put Tax the Rich on that thing.
Oh my God, tax the rich.
Patrisse Cullors and Tamika Mallory and Cori Bush and AOC, boy. These socialists, Hassan Piker. Man, these socialists need to get together and do seminars on how to be a capitalist. Because they're rocking and rolling.
I mean, have you seen the back?
No,
we have a message.
Oh my God, tax the rich. What a model, AOC. What a damn.